You either gonna hold me down or slow me down. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Rick 81. Powerful email that you sent me a while back about being a man of the Most High and the type of woman we should look for. I like to say wife. And I want to use this title. You either gonna hold me down or slow me down because that's what a helpmeet does. But the sad thing is, too many people get with the wrong person. A godly man is going to operate totally different than a worldly man. Because one thing about a godly man is that he's going to watch the actions of the one he's with. And a lot of people, they make their mouth say anything, but their actions don't line up with their mouth. And matter of fact, you was talking about what's the difference between dating and courting. As a matter of fact, I'll do a separate video about that later on. I just want to do this real talk video first, because when you get with the wrong person because you went after all the looks and you forgot to go after what the Bible say go after, a virtuous woman, then you find yourself falling deeper and deeper into wrong relationships. You do the wrong thing. You got to get with somebody that's going to hold you down and not slow you down. I always tell people there's two things that's going to happen. You're either going to bring a person up to your level or you're going to fall down to their level. But once you get a godly woman, a godly wife, or a godly husband, ladies, then it's the operating is totally different. Because one thing you don't do is stop communicating with each other. You always listening at each other's heart. You talk things out. You work it out. And that's what I always look for. I always tell people, as a child of the King, when you are looking for, a helpmeet, a wife, or ladies, if you're looking for that husband, the Bible saying, in all our getting, we must get an understanding. In all things also, we do things in decent and in order. And the Bible say, man will leave his mother and father to do what? Cleave to his wife. Because you're taking on a bigger responsibility. You're taking on your own. You're going to always love mama. You're going to always love father if they're around. But you're gonna take on a bigger responsibility because now that is your family. That is your wife. That is your helpmeet. And some people can't move forward because they still got mama all up in their business. It's a lot of men out here who are mama boys, and they got mama all up in their marriage, and they never can move forward because mama's pretty much in all their business. Because mama don't want to let go, and baby boy don't want to let go, But when you get somebody that's going to hold you down versus slowing you down, your life is greater. Because that person is not going to take things lightly, And especially if you're involved in ministry like I am, you can't have a weak person. You got to have a strong person. And because they're going to have to be able to deal with the same things you're dealing with. See, we suppose, as the Bible say, build each other up. But how you going to build somebody up if you're slowing them down? It's just like two oxen in the field pulling the opposite direction. One trying to go forward and the other one trying to go backwards. They just slowing each other down. They're not getting nowhere because they unequally yoked. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the Bible teaches us don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. And that means even with friends, family members, business partners. See, a lot of people just want to tie that unequally yoked in with a marriage, but is that even what the Bible was saying? Now, we already know what's going to happen when you deal with an unbeliever. So when you go after that one that's going to hold you down versus slowing you down, just like Boaz and Ruth. Boaz was going to hold Ruth down no matter what. Boaz saw what type of woman she was, how she dealt with the most hardest things she was going through in her life. He heard of that. He saw that. So he knew off top, that's going to be my woman. That's going to be my wife. Ruth going to hold Boaz down no matter what. So you don't want a Jezebel and Ahab. Jezebel ran Ahab. Ahab was just weak, So when you get with the one that's going to hold you down, you're going to press forward with each other. You're going to encourage each other. You're going to keep loving each other. You're going to, once again, keep building each other up. And most important thing you're going to do, you're going to pray about everything. It's going to be things that's going to happen in your life that it's going to be very difficult to deal with. But it's a big blessing when you got somebody right there with you saying, baby, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. I know what you're going through. I'm right here with you. We're going through this together. See, that's the difference versus having a complainer or having somebody that's going to keep having pity parties, and pity parties don't do nothing but make you stay in the same shape you in. And that becomes one that will slow you down, not hold you down. You want to hold you down, not to slow you down. So don't be mad at when you get the one that slow you down, because that's what you went out there with. Oh, she was so fine. And you know, man, I got hooked on her looks, and you found out her looks wasn't everything. Her looks, that's all she had going for her, was her looks. But she was one of the most messed up spiritually. She was very unstable. She was very messed up in her mind and thinking, like you said in your email. That's gonna be the one that slow you down. You should never, I'm going to say something that my beautiful sister Lady D always say. You should never just settle. You should select. Even a pimp know that. Don't settle, just select. Why you think pimps keep on moving and trying to find different hoes to pimp on the corner? They want the one that's going to progress. See, I'm using that in a crazy sense, but even unbelievers to an extent know who gonna hold them down and who gonna slow them down. Problem is, we just keep doing what we want to do in this life. When you get slowed down in life, it takes a lot out of you. And the more and more you slow down, the more and more you're gonna stay down. But when you get the one that holds you down, just say you get laid off. Baby, I got this. I'm going to hold you. I love when I heard a woman say, we're going to hold this down. Or if I'm down, baby, I'm going to hold this down till you get back up and we get back together. I'm going to hold you down. But see, now it's done became just help me. Instead of a help me, it's help me. What you going to do for me? I see too many women, not all women, with this mentality. What you going to do for me? I met a woman a couple of years ago. She got mad at me. She told me that I supposed to have been her man, and that the Most High showed her I was her husband. But all she could think about was herself. I didn't even know this woman from jump. She had been looking at me online. I won't reveal her name, but she was just going on and on about, holding her down. And she had 4 kids. Baby daddy drama. But all she could see was, I need you to help me. See, it's a different ball game when you start talking about doing things spiritually. Because when you do it spiritually versus what the world view of doing things is, you're going to operate in a whole nother way. You're not going to do what everybody else is doing. You're not going to go where everybody else is going. You're not going to be like the world. You're going to really be set apart, holy, separated, as the Bible say, set apart to be different. That's the type of woman. And let me add this in here. This is why I tell people all the time, as a man, you shouldn't want no woman that haven't been through nothing. You need that one that has been through some type of situation, because she, let me say this all the way right, the one that have went through and learned from their past. That's the type of woman you should want, because when you get a woman that ain't never been through nothing or have had everything handed to them all their life, when they get to hitting hard times, they don't know how to deal with it. They act a fool. But the one who have went through gonna be like, I done been here before. I already know what to do. I'm not gonna operate that way because I already know it's about Yahweh. I have went my way before. So you want the one that's gonna hold you down and not slow you down. If you just happen to be with a one that right now that have slowed you down, I pray for you. I pray for you real hard because people that slow down like that, they tend to get depressed. They tend to get in the state of mind where they start just really being messed up in their mind of thinking. They become double-minded, unstable in all their ways. You got double-minded men just like you got double-minded women. You should be single-minded. Single-minded man, single-minded woman. So that's my little take on, they either going to hold you down or they going to slow you down. See, when you get hooked up, ladies, if you get hooked up with that dude that don't want to work, you thought you had got Boaz and you got lazy, let me leave that alone. He going to slow you down. You going to keep working, he going to keep slowing you down. You going to keep trying to move forward, he going to slow you down because he only thinking about himself and he's using you to come up off of you. Fellas, you get that lazy woman that don't want to do nothing, she ain't going to do nothing but slow you all the way down. You're going to keep putting your all into it, and you're going to keep getting slower and slower and slower because you have found the one that's going to slow you down instead of holding you down. If you got the one right now that's holding you down, big shout out to you. Much props to you. I'm happy for you. And I pray that everybody that I know get the one that hold them down instead of slowing them down. That's my time. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day.